Hello, my name is Steve Schaefer, and I'll be presenting today on behalf of Elevate, an experiential branding company. And today we'll be going over our target market, our market and customer and competitor research, what it looks like in the marketplace right now and what we're up against. And then lastly, we'll go over our integrated service marketing communication plan and our sales strategy. So let's get started with our target market first. Currently, there are over 400 collegiate programs that sponsor sports, including 38 across the country that are considered the elite Power Five conferences. And what that means is football and basketball, men's basketball schools that are the top revenue generating sports. They usually generate enough dollars that they can cover the rest of the athletic department. And then we see that as our obviously the most profitable area we can work from. The spending capability of our target market sets up nicely for our company because according to a recent USA Today study, over 30 Power 5 schools in 2015 alone spent an average of $3.1 million just on building graphics and recruiting facility, signage and experiential graphics of that things of that nature. So obviously there's a lot of money to be made there. And then we'll try to make all of our dollars there or our major dollars there. And then our supplementary dollars will come from the target two, the group of five institutions. And what that is schools that have one, maybe two sports that are close to breaking even or generate a little more revenue, but understand that the recruiting atmosphere is just as competitive down there as it is in Division One. So they need those experiential buildings and facilities to set themselves apart for recruits just as badly as anyone else. So the dollars are being spent there too. So after we know what we're going for, what are we up against? Our primary competition is pretty fierce considering the amount of dollars being spent, and the main ones are Advent, which is in Nashville, Tennessee, and according to that same USA Today article, have done over 600 collegiate projects since 2007. And then our other two ones are Dimensional Innovations and Populous, who are both located in Kansas City, and those both have recorded or reported over $40 million in revenue. So obviously those are both growing and the market is as fierce as ever. As far as our customer research goes, colleges have spent an increasing amount of number of dollars in recent years, as you can tell with the jobs that Advent and those other companies are doing. Previously, it was more stadium concourses and halls of fame, but more recently, it's shifted towards sports-specific buildings. Clemson just built a $55 million football facility just for the team. There's no other basketball isn't in there, swimming isn't in there, or anything like that. It's just football. It's their locker rooms, it's their coaches' offices, their facilities, and that's been kind of the trend moving across the country. So we think there's obviously a big market there for us to penetrate. So now we'll shift to how are we going to sell that and how are we going to get that, how are we going to spread our message. So we're pretty fortunate that Nebraska Athletics has been a huge first customer for us since it's received so much publicity on the project we did. If you go back to the first screen after this, you can see we redid their football practice facility and then their coaches' offices. So there's been a number of mentions on social media from reporters and fans. So that obviously has generated a lot of pub, but we're going to need to capture that information so that we can continue to move it forward and spread it to other people. And how we're going to do that is with social media, primarily with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Instagram is huge because it's so photo-centric that we can really emphasize and show our experiential capabilities and then share it across that. And then obviously Facebook and Twitter have a high interactive platform that we'll continue to utilize. And then what we'll also do is we'll create our own website where that will be all of our inbound leads. So we'll have a contact us page as well as an overview of all the projects we've done and then an overview of our team so that people can email us directly if they have inquiries about that or anything. And then lastly, we'll have what we call a two-pronged outreach approach, which will be we'll promote and pitch our projects to two athletics-based email subscriptions, which is D1 Ticker and NACDA's College AD Search. Those are pretty widely circulated among the athletic department or the athletic departments across the country, and that's actually a closely knit kind of group. So if you talk to one guy, they usually know another lady or anything like that. So it's a nice little network and connection that we can try to promote within. And then obviously, since we've been in college athletics here for a while, we're going to use our own personal network to promote what Elevate can do for all types of schools on all sizes of projects and lots of experiential things that can really take recruiting and their college experience to another level. So With that, that's what I've got, and now I'll pass it on to Robert and Michael to review the rest of our project.
Hey everyone, my name is Robert Venzel, and I'm also here to speak to you on behalf of Elevate. So we want to locate our facilities in Lincoln, Nebraska because we feel it's important to be located in the heart of the country, having a national target audience. This will allow for ease and lower cost for transportation of goods to installation sites, whether they're on the East Coast, West Coast, South, wherever our client may be. We will want to have our office in a business park because we need to rent a facility that has easy access for semi trucks to come pick up or drop off materials. That's how we're going to be shipping our graphics out to installation sites. So we need to be located in an area where trucks have access to. We also feel it's important to be located in one central hub. That means our offices, design studio, and workshop, because that will allow for ease of communication between our team members from the start, and also whenever we fly clients in to speak with them, they can see our entire operation in one area. And it should also hopefully keep overhead costs in terms of rent low from the start because we're only paying for one location. For equipping the facilities, we're going to look to lease the equipment for our workshop. We'll look to enter something like a 2 to 3 year lease. And the reason we want to do this is because it'll allow more flexibility of our capital funds from the start by not having to put a huge investment into our equipment. And we'll also have access to up-to-date equipment through our leasing contract and service and maintenance fees built in. That way we don't have to keep those people on staff or for pay for that, since it'll be a part of that contract. Now we'll look for alternative ideas for the installation equipment. We don't really want to house this at our facility because we're going to be using those on the job site. So we'll look to contract through the construction company that's doing the build or equipment rental facility in the city of where the installation is happening. So our servicescape is pretty important to us for this service. Because we are a brand experience graphic design building service, we need our clients to experience what we are about to. They're coming to us to build a brand experience for them, so how better to sell our service than have them experience who we are. So we're going to do this through having pictures of previous jobs up around the building with descriptions, but also we're going to create experiential graphics for our office. So the way we envision this is you'd walk through our front door in our lobby, you'd see a large logo with our mantra or our mission statement and things like that that just encapsulate and tell our story, tell who we are through our graphics. We want our clients to come to us for the service, so how better to sell it than have them experience themselves. This will also be a benefit for our employees. There's been a link to employee satisfaction, employee pride in their job directly to customer satisfaction. So we feel by creating a positive work environment and creating an environment where we have complete buy-in from our team members, this will hopefully lead to increase in employee drive, increase employee loyalty, which will then lead to higher levels of customer satisfaction. So on that employee base, we will look to start out with 10 to 15 individuals. These will include our design team, our sales and marketing team, our shop labor, and a front desk receptionist. And in terms of outsourcing, what we'll do there is we won't look to house a logistics team or truck drivers or own our trucks. We're going to outsource that shipment process. We'll look to contract through a company like Warner Enterprise in Omaha, as they offer logistics solutions and transportation solutions for organizations. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Tollison. I'm going to talk about our pricing rationale and generally some of the project scopes and target sales revenues, as well as some general financials for our company. So the pricing rationale is going to be start small and grow our profitability as we gain brand recognition. So in order to penetrate the market, we're going to undercut our competitors by about 50% of the average market profitability. So we're going to start by coming in between 10 and 12% profit margin, whereas the market average is about 25%, and we will grow over time with the intent of, on our 5th year, to be at the profit margin average for the market space. We're going to do this in a couple ways. First, we're going to keep our staff low. We will supplement some of the more labor-intensive components of the projects to third party and we'll make sure that we supplement accordingly to them, and we will only scale as we gain projects and brand recognition that can support the additional staff members. Headcount being our largest cost year over year. So our revenue streams are going to be in three major categories. The first and the bulk of our revenue is going to come from new builds. So within the Power 5 schools, the average new build cost is about $57 million. This could be anything from a brand new stadium to a practice arena to field houses, things like that. So within this space, these are the longest projects. So we got to make sure that our fee schedules are set up in a way that supports our costs while we don't run into the red, because we cannot gain additional interest rates, interest fees and things like that for gaining debt. The second and the largest quantity of projects that we are going to have is going to be our retrofits. The retrofits are going to be taking an existing stadium that either has or doesn't have existing graphics and either wiping out the existing graphics or retrofitting the stadium to have a strong brand and graphical image. These are going to be challenging projects because you're taking an existing structure that's mid-renovation or already being renovated, both structurally and aesthetically, and then trying to apply the branding and graphics to that. So these are going to take a little bit more time and have some unique challenges, but we should be able to turn these projects much faster because most of the Power 5 schools are going to turn over these projects during their off seasons. So at most you're looking at 6 months from the breaking ground to the completion of the project. So these are going to be the bulk of our support revenue stream beyond the new builds. And the last one is mostly a value add. So these are going to be maintaining and updating existing graphics to satisfy the updates for new coaches, new players, new championship wins, whatever significant event in the organization that they want to add to their branding graphics. That revenue stream is going to be relatively minor, but it's important that we keep it because it stays in front of the customer and we are going to be their preferred vendor when they have a new project come up. So these are some of the financials, and we broke it down into the first 3 years, and you can see how we increase our profitability and project scopes over that 3-year period. And you can see within our summaries how many projects we plan to take on and what revenue streams that we're going to grow, as well as increasing our staff members to support the additional revenue streams. And as we scale up, we will add headcount. Again, that is our largest cost component here. So, appreciate your time. This is our project. The financials do support it. We think we have a unique offer within the market space, and we think that we can penetrate and dominate the market space fairly simply. Thank you.